All right, so now we're going to get into one of the foundational movements in kettlebells, an overhead press. We're going to start with a single, and then I'll be progressing in another video how you would do it with double kettlebells. Now, when you're getting with an overhead press, there's a few things. Make sure first they're cleared through the FMS. That's one of our components here in the studio. They have to be at least a minimum of a 2. They don't have to be a 3, but they have to be a 2. Meaning, again, I'm not going to go through the whole FMS, but checking shoulder mobility. If they are a 1, they do not press overhead. For that, we would have them doing different movements on thoracic mobility and drills such as pressing out with the sandbag. But I'm going to go over again now, overhead pressing. So again, 2 or better, they have to be in the FMS to do this drill. So now I'm going to get my kettlebell. I'm not going to get into cleaning, so I'm just going to get it into the rack position. I'm going to use 2 hands here, do a 2-hand or cheek clean here. Now with pressing, you want to make sure, and this is important, they have to have a neutral wrist. They can't hold the kettlebell like that. Really important. Another reason why here at the studio we give them wrist guards. So if anyone has discomfort with the bell here in the back of the wrist, we just give them a pair of wrist guards for that. Next thing is you want to get that hand all the way through. Again, it's not even, my calluses are up here. So it's sitting right on the palm. All right, so let's get into the setup position. It's important that a person has the ability to create a plank as they're standing. And what does that mean? That means I'm standing, pull up my kneecaps, my quads are tight, squeeze my butt. That gets my pelvis here, so no J-Lo, right? I don't want a rib flare. I don't want to be like that. So I'm in standing plank. And here's the part a lot of people forget about. With that free hand, I'm going to make a fist. If I have all this tension with the hand as a kettlebell, I want to make sure I have tension throughout my whole body. So now I'm prepared to press. And I'm going to show you from the side position. Here. They should not be here. I want hips right underneath here. Now, once they're ready to press, they start with the bell anterior in the front, and then it winds up where the bell is behind them. So I'm going to sniff some air. I'm going to exhale, crush the handle, pull the kettlebell back down. Sniff some air, exhale, and pull it down. I'm going to do one more, and what I want you to do is watch the space here. There should always be space between my ear and my shoulder. So you should always be able to look through that and pull as I come down. Reason for that space is because you don't want the person shrugging the weight. So if I'm like this, and that's why I put it down, because this could get me hurt. This could get you injured. And that's why I didn't want to demonstrate it with load. So I don't want to be in that position. Now, one of the benefits of the kettlebell is that since the weight is not in the palm of the hand, it's actually displaced behind. It actually helps and corrects that with a lot of people. So it helps get this humerus in a correct position. But what you have to be aware of, and as a coach, what you're watching is as they get into that overhead press, mindful of this part here, elbow is locked, make sure they don't go into spinal extension. Maintain that plank. That's a reason why we have to make sure they have adequate shoulder mobility before they try it. Because if somebody, when they lift their arm, and this is as good as they can get, they don't have great shoulder mobility, and they try to press the kettlebell, well, they're going to try to get it here, and they're going to do it at compromising their spine. Hence, suddenly they're going to do kettlebells and say, man, today my back feels a little achy from it. Because it probably wasn't a good fit for them. They shouldn't be pressing overhead. We got to work on the shoulder mobility. So again, let's go over a few nuances, because this has a few critical points. First, make sure wrist is neutral. Make sure hand is all the way through that handle. Make sure their starting position is really good. Establish a good plank. Create tension through the whole body. Maintain a nice fist here. Sniff air before you press, and as you press, exhale. Get the bell overhead. Make sure we have some space here. They're not shrugging the load, and pull the weight back down. What I always tell people is imagine you're doing a chin-up. So if I was doing a chin-up, right, I'm pulling with my lats, we'll pull the weight down. Use their lats to bring that load back down. And those are a few really great tips for a kettlebell overhead press.